Alrighty, I want to thank you all for joining me. Back to Yates Computer Tips and Reviews. For this one, I wanted to continue on your online shopping. I've already done 2 videos kind of elaborating some of these stories, and I wanted to make sure that people understand to try to use the more reputable businesses if you can. I know there's a lot of businesses popping up advertising they have good deals and they're a startup, blah, 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 blah. But you really want to be careful. Gave an example in pretty much the last 2 videos. The last video went into pretty much the full details of what went on. But a lot of them are the shafts, the frauds, the fake stuff out there, the scams, the lies, the betrayals that they do to you just to get your money. There's a lot of these things that advertise certain things for a certain price that obviously when you look at it, you know it's not true. You know it's not legit. The prices are not, no way possible the way they are supposed to be. Like, they're advertising this, what was it, electric wheelchair thing for $69. Oh, okay, that's kind of cool. It folds all up, like in a box and all that, all ready and stuff. Oh, that's kind of cool. Like it closes up. Electric bike thing too, that or scooter type that folds all up. You know, I go and Google it, and I see people are selling that product for $800, and it's a cheap one. The product that they're advertising is like a $4,000 product. How are you selling that for 60 bucks? I wonder if that's a legitimate site. I highly doubt it. I highly, highly doubt it. I'm sure they're taking people's credit card information and names and everything else and taking their money and disappearing. I doubt that's even a legitimate company at all. But it's something you need to be aware of. I mentioned a lot of things just now. Credit card number, your name, your address, all this information you put in on an order. These are important informations to people who run scams and frauds and other things to have that info. Not to mention, nowadays you get all these weird little phone calls on your phone, and they're all coming through on these weird numbers. Not to mention now, if they have run that scam and you bought something from them, they can actually use your phone number, your name, your address, because you provided it, to do all kinds of other things. They can run scams and frauds under your name and address and your phone number because of this. So that's one of the reasons why I'm recommending everybody, when you do your online shopping, to use a reputable company. Company you know. A company that you think you can really trust. Brought that up about the Facebook thing. What really didn't bother me too much is it was through PayPal. Yeah, they got my name and address, but really, a lot of people already have my name and address. Plus, I pay for a service that monitors my credit history and all of that stuff. So, now, I have to take the extra precautions to make sure my information's secure, even though these businesses out there are being deceptive and lying and cheating to get your information. So that's a cost I have to pay. I don't get reimbursed by that by any of these other businesses that I deal with. Because I need to make sure I have my protection. Now, if that company is actually doing a great job and doing what the best they can do, I don't know. But at least I'm trying to take a step to make sure my data is secure, my information is secure. So, wanted to bring that factor up, especially when you do online shopping. One of the things that really kind of dawned on me this last week is I remember being younger, going out to all these events. Hey, sign up for this credit card. We'll give you a free gift. I used to fill out the little form, my name, my address, my social security. I did not put the right one. I did not put a lot of the correct information. I put my name and my address. Because I didn't want their credit card. I got the free gift. And I'd get letters all the time. You were denied for this because your information didn't match. Thinking back is now you can't even do that stuff because you don't know where that paper goes. Thinking about it now is, where did all that paperwork go? Nowadays, if you think about it, you fill out that paperwork, it gets scanned into a computer. What happened to that paperwork? Did it get shredded? Did it get burned? What happened to it? But now, it's scanned into a computer. Where is that computer? Where is that database? Is it encrypted? How secure is it? Where's the physical location? Where is all of that? How did it get transmitted from the scanner to the unit? There's a lot of security things that take place. Nowadays, you don't do that. It's all online. There's a tablet or a computer that you type all that in. Well, you still have that same little variable. How did that data get from where you entered it to where it gets processed, and who sees it and who has connection with it in between those points? Most of it, I believe, is done through an internet interface, because a lot of them, it gives you the instant, you're approved, you're denied. Okay, if you're approved, go to that booth, get your credit card. That's the one I did before. Go on over there, they'll print you your card. Okay. But you got to understand that now went from that terminal to your server that got processed back, and then to that booth. A lot of links there. It should be all secure, should be encrypted, should be VPN, it should be a lot of things, but you don't know. These are factors. Same thing with internet shopping. How those things communicate back and forth. These are factors I wanted to bring up. I'm sure you've heard, it's old news now, but certain businesses, their credit card data centers were breached, hacked into. Someone got into the data and stole people's names, information, the credit histories. They don't know exactly what. They copied it over. Not too long ago, I saw about a casino where the Players Club unit got hacked. Everybody's information got copied over. So this is the buyer beware of online shopping, knowing what store you're shopping with. Knowing those factors hopefully will help to keep your data secure. Just to sum up video, it's more of probably a security side more than a shopping side. But because you're doing the online shopping, this is why I'm labeling it as on the online shopping side. Because if you go through some of these pop-up stores and some of these other things that come up and they ask you, enter your credit card, enter this, enter that, hotel reservations. You have all these third-party sites that advertise they're going to give you the greatest deals, and you go through and then they ask you your credit card information. This is another one that it goes through that third-party site that then pays the hotel. How do they pay the hotel? Some of these third-party sites is, okay, you book with us, you give us the first night payment, and then the rest is due at the hotel. Who has your credit card information? Who knows what's going on? Oh man. Who is transferring money between who? These are all links that are tied together, because you don't know the security side of it. So this is why I wanted to bring this to light. Of course, if you use your credit card or whatever, you want to monitor it closely. You want to look at all your transactions. You want to look at everything that's going on. Don't recommend you having multi-credit cards, because that's more work you got to do. You got to look at all these different ones. But it's the way to be safe when you do online shopping. Sometimes some of these places will betray you. They'll charge you $29 for your purchase, and the next thing you know, you got another transaction for $30, and then another transaction for this. You know, you want to make sure. My recommendation is to use the reputable companies that you know. Shop around. Compare them all. Don't trust, this is the great deal of the year, and blah, blah, blah. Shop it around. Look at it. Google it. Find out, is that price actually the good price? This was covered in my other videos, but I wanted to sum this up. Wanted to make sure everybody is aware. These other videos I got really cover a lot of the detail. But I wanted people to understand the internet shopping side of it, the security side of it, making sure you understand. Especially home users. I'm sure you go online and you purchase a lot of stuff, a lot of places and a lot of other places, and you have different payment processes you like and all these type of things. But I want people to be aware of these things, because there's a lot of things not being told anymore. There's a lot of things kind of being assumed you know, but nobody's actually telling you this is what's going on. This is, you know, between A, B, C, D, and E, and F to get to G. A lot of people are giving you A and B and maybe G, or A and E and G, and you know, they're not giving you all the facts. So I wanted to bring all this up. I know it's probably something a lot of people are going to say, that's real silly, we already know all this, I know, but there might be other people out there that don't know this, that don't understand this. You know, there's a lot of people that only pay cash for certain things. There's people that don't have credit cards. There's people that only have debit cards. There's people that don't use debit cards and only use credit cards and all these other things. They have their reasonings. They have their whys. But the ultimate factor is you may take every step in the world to try to make sure you're secure, but then you go shop online and someone rips you off. Someone cheats you. Someone sells your information. Most of these sites nowadays have a disclaimer on there that says they will not sell your information and all this other type of stuff. Certain sites don't have that. So you might be interested in knowing what a certain site has and another site doesn't. So I wanted to cover this a little bit. You know, look at the shopping sites. There's more and more springing up every day. There's more and more disappearing every day. You know, I mentioned on my video about that one, you know, you might think that it looks pretty good and all this type of stuff, but it really isn't. You know, I have the experience doing these videos, trying to teach people. Even I know, okay, this is probably not a very good reputable company. But like I said, I wanted to try it. It was something I was interested in. I wanted to get. I've been looking at for a while. But when I go to try to find them, I couldn't find them. So this was an opportunity for me to try to get them. But what did I get? I got weeks and weeks of work, a bunch of hassles, a bunch of headaches, a product that isn't even what I ordered, wasn't even the right color that I wanted. I got junk. I got garbage. They're tossed over, they're in the corner over here in my office. What am I going to do with them? I'm probably going to give them away to someone. Probably do a charity. Because they're not what I want. So, these are some of the factors I wanted to bring up. Other factor was making sure you know exactly what you're buying. Some of these sites will tell you a certain computer product, a certain memory, the speed, how much, what size it is, how many they are. But there's a lot more factors that go into play with that. A lot of times on there they'll have a UPC number, a SKU number, other things that you need to research to make sure that that product that you want, that you're actually looking for, is actually that product. Because you may not realize, if you go on that manufacturer's website and you look up that product you're looking at, there might be 8 or 10 of that same exact product, but are different. Their bus speeds are different, their clock speeds are different. There's a lot of different factors that are in there that can cause it. M.2, right now, as of filming, we have version 3, version 4. So you may end up wanting to buy an M.2 card, wanting the version 4, the newest, greatest, and fastest, and get the version 3. Because it was an upgraded modular or card where they might be using the same SKU number or product number or whatever, but they have an older stock on hand that is the older product. So these are some of the things that I wanted to sum up and bring up with online shopping. And it's not, I won't go as far as to say that it's a fraud or a betrayal on the seller's side, because it is what they've ordered. If you've ordered 1,000 units of something and you haven't sold it, and you still have it on your site, and it's been on there for 6 months or a year, and maybe that store does not realize there's a new revised version out because they haven't looked to try to reorder yet to be notified that that product has changed because they have so many in stock. So I don't want to label that as in the same category as the being lied to and betrayed, because it might still be a very good reputable company, but they have so many products and so much stuff they're selling online and had such a quantity that they just have not realized that what they're selling is the older version. Kind of like cars. You go in to buy cars, you have your 2011, 2012, 2013s. You might go into a car lot and have a 2011, a 2012, a 2013, a 2014, all right next to each other, looking pretty much identical. But how would you know the difference? You go around, you look at the label on the car, and it tells you the year, and it tells you what's in there. Or you've done your homework and you researched it. What's the difference between this year and that year's? You know, maybe the style is different, the dash, headlights, little tiny things might be a little different on the interior between the 2011 and 2014. But the 2013, 2014 might be really identical, might be really, really close. They might have the same kind of interior package where you can't tell. Now, is it the dealer's fault they have 4 years worth of cars there? No. Hopefully that 2011 is a whole lot cheaper than the brand new version, because it's an older vehicle. But this is something, the same thing that I'm trying to compare to online. But the dealer will know, because that car that's on the lot will be labeled. We'll have a VIN number. We'll have everything. Plus, they have the new model. They've been told the new model's coming out. They already know that new model's coming out. So they're aware. So that's one thing that I wanted to sum up with the online. Depending on who you're buying from, they might not really realize. But that's where you need to be aware. That's where you need to be able to identify what year that product was made. Used to be in the old days, they would put a date kind of on it, when it was manufactured and all that type of stuff. Some of them are really hard to find. Some are on the box, some are on a label with the barcode that you can kind of, if you're in a physical store, you can look at to see. But when you're online, you can't see that. So I wanted to sum that up. I don't know if a lot of other people who build computers and know these things that actually have ever looked at that little label with the barcode. Sometimes it has the serial number and it has manufacturer date. Hard drives have them. Let me see. Do I have a hard drive right here in front of me? Hard drives actually used to have the manufacturer date on them. It's on the label. Let me see if I can find this one. It actually has a date on there. I don't know if many people have really looked at this. There's a reason why there's a date on there. Used to be in the old days, they would only let things run for so long. Especially if you had servers and you had other things, and you're trying to make sure your data is always secure. Data centers and other things usually have a shelf life on drives where they change them out to prevent the failures. So there are things out there that will help you to identify a new model and old model if you actually have it in your hand. So I don't want to discourage a lot of online shopping. One of the things I brought up in the betrayals and the lies videos is some of these manufacturers nowadays are changing chips and components on units and not telling people. So they're not getting the same performances. To me, that's a lie and a betrayal because they do not specify there's been a change. You think you're still buying that original product. You may have bought one 6 months ago that is the actual right model that was rated and tested and reviewed by all the people that they sent that out to, and they got the review marks and the benchmarks for them. You might actually go into a store and pick two up off the shelf, and one be the right one be the wrong one being some other chip configuration that they used. And like I said in the other videos, I'm sure they're going to blame it on, well, we can't get the chips because there's a chip shortage. My answer to that question is, sorry, we're out of the product because we cannot get the proper product to build you the proper product. Or you label that box differently than the other box so people are aware that that's a different version than that one. So the buyer can be aware of what he is buying. Notify people. Tell people. This is why I'm doing these videos, to try to elaborate some of this stuff. And like I said in the other video, now all these businesses are being caught doing this. I'm pretty sure if we go back and we start looking at other products, other manufacturers have been doing this for a while. Probably just never got caught. So, you know, this is one of the things I brought up. So they're making these products today with these bad chip configurations that don't run the same as the original reviewed product. How long is those products going to be in the pipeline or in storage? These might be products that are going to show up 4 years from now, 5 years from now still. Because if you make 100,000 of these products with these other chips, with all these different combinations of whatever you can get, instead of the ones that were reviewed, how long will it take to go through all of that product? Especially now that reviewers and other people are saying, beware of this brand, beware of this card, beware of this, because they're doing that. You might go online and see, oh, look, they have an M.2 card for $30. And it's that one they reviewed that they've changed the chips on. So, just wanted to chime that out, because you don't know how long this factor is going to take to be cleared out, to get all of this stuff out, because estimates I hear, this might be another year or two of chip shortage. Might be worse, because they keep releasing new video cards and everything else that needs more chips and more chips and more chips, that it's going to hurt and strain that manufacturing process even more, because they're going to want more and more and more and more and more when they can only process this much and you want that much. So it's going to take a long time to get out of that. So this might be where you have product out there on shelves for years that is no good, that is not what was reviewed. So I know I brought this up in the other videos. I brought it up again because I think it's important. Because, like I brought up, if you're building a system or you're building something or you're doing something and you get something like that, it's going to give you headaches. You're going to troubleshoot. You're going to have all these problems. Not to mention, it's not only computer or home computers. This could be your TVs. This could be in your car. This could be in vacuums. Could be in microwaves. Could be in clocks. It could be in anything that uses a processor or any kind of chip. So this is why it's falling to buying online. And it's not just video cards or NAMs or modems or computer related things. This could be anything. And this could be years of this going on. So I wanted to elaborate on this. Could be as simple as things like Christmas lights, Christmas light controllers, your security cameras, your cell phones, anything. So I wanted to elaborate. I know I've gone off subject a little, but I wanted to elaborate this. I wanted to make sure everybody understands this. Because the other ones were kind of summaries giving you information. But this is the online shopping part that really you need to understand. That even though I put out the frauds and the betrayals and all the lies and all these other things that these companies have done, there's companies out there that might be still trying to do their best that don't realize. Because if you bought the product, you put it in a computer, and it's not performing as the other one, and you didn't realize that there was a difference, they might not have realized. So this is why I'm doing this video, so that you should know to look at what you're getting in to make sure that that reseller or manufacturer or whoever you're buying from is aware of what product they're selling you. So I'm informing you so that you're the educated one, so you know. And to stop headaches. Hours and hours of headaches. Because something's not working right. And to me that's important because I troubleshoot, work on computers, do network issues, a lot of other things that really now I have to deal with a hardware issue. You know, what if I bought that M.2 card, put it in a computer, trying to transfer over data, and it keeps failing and failing and failing for some weird reason. Data gets corrupted and gets corrupted. Well, how many hours is that going to cost me doing that? Think about it as a home business owner, home business person, small business person. You pay an IT guy to come out and work on that. You're paying him by the hour. And he's running into problems because of this faulty stuff. Guess who's paying for it? You are. Because your 1 hour job just turned into an 8 hour job. And then, to top it off, is if it doesn't get done because that's a faulty product, you have to take it out, send it back, exchange it, get another product, get that put back in, and then you got to pay the guy to come and do it again. So these are some of the factors I wanted to bring up. I know people are probably going, whoa, you know, wait a minute. These are factors that come up. Who's paying the price in the long run? You will be. I don't want to put a scare factor out there. I don't want to put any of that kind of stuff out there. I'm just trying to inform you because odds are you probably had something like this happen, or you probably will. And it might not be a bad product where someone changed something. It might be just a default of product. It might be a bad product. Something in the manufacturing process went bad, where the product's no good. These are scenarios you run across. But to know the difference is really one of the things that now you have this other variable out there that you need to be aware of. So this is why I'm bringing this up, because now it causes more of a headache, especially for someone troubleshooting. Especially for someone, like if you're a small business and you have someone that came out and did an upgrade on one of your systems. Like I said, you're a business, you have two exact systems, and he comes out, does that upgrade on that unit, you buy the same exact product to put in this unit, and the guy's having a problem. And he starts asking you all kinds of questions. Okay, where'd you buy it? What is this? What? And it looks exactly the same, or whatever. Now he's going to have an issue, and you're going to have another issue trying to communicate. So this is why I want to bring this factor up, so that if you ever have this problem, you think, oh, wait a minute. Let's take a close look at these products and see if they're the same. I know what I ordered. I know what the distributor or the store says they sold me. Is this the same manufactured product as this? That might be a factor that tech or whoever you paid for has to look at to find out. Oh, wait a minute, this isn't the same. This is different. They did a design change. They did something different here. This does not even look the same as that one. So, that's why I want to bring this up. Hopefully that makes this a little easier. I know I've gone kind of off topic of online shopping. I wanted to cover a lot of variables. I wanted to go into details. I wanted to make sure everybody understood why I wanted to make sure I said, make sure you buy from a reputable company that you know, because you might have to return this stuff. In the old days, pretty much what you bought, you never returned. They started charging you overstock, restock fees, and all this other stuff. So you might not want to use certain companies that you've been using if they're charging you restock fees, because you might have to return some stuff. This is now one of those variables that you may need to look at. You may need to return product now because of these factors. Where in the old days, you pretty much never returned anything. I hardly ever returned anything. Only time I returned something was if it was too small or the sizing wasn't right. Most of the time when I ordered stuff, I got what I ordered. Nowadays, it's almost a crapshoot. What are you going to roll? 6, 11, 12, you know? So, I've kind of found that a factor. And this is something that's changed over time. And I think it's gotten worse. So, I wanted to bring up these factors. I'm sure a lot of businesses probably haven't run into this problem, or maybe haven't realized they ran into this problem. You know, like I said, I've worked on computers, and even the one I took apart, I have a video of that I was quite surprised that had mixed-matched memory in it. I know I didn't upgrade that memory because it's not possible for me to really get to it without taking everything out. And it's not the kind of memory I bought. It's not the brand of memory I bought. So that came in from the manufacturer that way. I have videos on that about the memory. So these are just some of the factors that I wanted to bring up that I've seen. That obviously this stuff's been going on for a long, long time. It just hasn't been caught. It hasn't been brought out. It hasn't been aired. So I wanted to air this stuff. I want to give people the awareness because, you know, of course, you don't want to go online and buy your prescriptions online. You don't want to go online and buy that type of stuff. Because you don't know if it's legit. How are you going to test it? How are you going to know if that's the right stuff? How do you know it's not rat poison or something else that they're selling you? But, of course, now it looks like that's kind of bleeding into everything else. And it might not be the store's fault you're buying it from. And it might be the store you're buying it from. The store you're buying it from might not be legit, might not be doing the right things, and might not be running a good business practice. They're just out to take your money and sell you junk and disappear. And then you can't return it. Or it comes from China, and then it's like, how do I send this back? Oh, it'll be $80 to send it back for a $10 product. You know, like, wait a minute. That ain't right. And they knew what they were sending you was no good. So there's a lot of variables out there I wanted to bring up. That's why this video is so long, because I wanted to make sure people fully understand that it might not just be that business. It might be the business who manufactured it, could be the reseller, could be the distributor, it could be the actual manufacturer in China, not the company who designed the product and then told them to make it, but it could be the actual factory itself not following the SKU of what the company says, and that stuff's being sold out. I'm not too sure. I'm sure there's going to be a lot more investigations. There's going to be a lot more people reviewing. I'm sure there's going to be a lot more people looking at it. So, but the only reason I keep bringing this up is because they've already made this stuff. It's already out on the pipeline. Unless they go back and recall all this product and review it to see what is actual legit and what is not, they're going to have issues. This product might show up for years, 5 years, 10 years down the line. It might be popping up still. Not to mention, maybe someone over there is bootlegging some stuff, putting it in a box that looks like that other company's stuff and sending it out. We don't know. But going back to trying to make sure you have the good, reputable company where you can return stuff seems to be the best bet right now. I know it's kind of a hard thing to recommend, but with the way things are right now and the reviewers and everybody else pointing out the same stuff that I've heard, now they've got evidence of it, they've got cards that are different, they've got things that are different that you can see. I'm sure there's going to be some investigations on these companies, on how this stuff is going on. So, just want to point these factors out. Alrighty, I think I'm going to wrap this up. Hopefully this covered the subject I want. If not, I'll relabel it to a different style video name, but this is really what I wanted to cover to make sure that everybody is aware of the online shopping. The differences between physically shopping and online shopping. Why one's really kind of better than the other one right kind of now, but it's not. Because if the manufacturers are not telling you there's a difference of what's in that box, you can actually get a product that is not what you wanted and what is not recommended. So it's kind of a catch-22 type of thing, but I wanted to make sure everybody's safe online. Make sure you have your secured transactions. Make sure you monitor your transactions. Make sure you get your tracking numbers. Make sure everything's good. If something's not good, report that company. Give them a bad review. Because the last thing you want to do is be cheated and have everybody else go online, because there's all these other fake reviews on there about how great that company is, and nobody put the truth of how bad that company is on the review. That's one thing that I noticed with that other site from the Christmas one, is it had reviews that how great they were, but I could not leave a review. So it was a dockered page. It was set where someone keyed it in so you could view it, but you could not leave a review. So it was phony. So you want to always look at reviews. Hotels too. Look at the reviews. You go on there and it'll tell you, oh, it's a 2-star hotel, but we have an average rating of 4.3 stars. You go read those reviews and there's a lot of ones about how disgusting it is, how bed bugs, and how there's this and how there's that, how there's holes in the wall, and a mattress is missing, or all kinds of weird things. But okay, so how's it a 4.3 star rating, but it's a 2-star hotel, but you have all these negative, really horrible reviews? Same thing with products. They have this easy jar opener thing that you put on there, and start reading the reviews about how they just break, fall apart. Oh, we've had this for a week and it fell apart. The plastic all just broke apart, and it's all in pieces. There's photos of it. You can see the reviews. You look at the review total. Oh, it's a 5-star product. How's it a 5-star product? I can see all these negative, horrible reviews. So these are some of the factors I wanted to bring up, because I've been seeing this. And I've been scratching my head like, okay, so people left reviews, but it's not accounting for them. It's accounting for the good reviews, but it's not accounting for all the bad reviews. And a lot of good reviews are a lot of false reviews. I've seen products that are brand new, that are coming out to the market. It's funny, I've seen them where it's a pre-sale of a certain item that has already got good reviews of people that are using it. Well, I've had this for 6 months. I've had this for a year. It's so great. When it's not even on the market yet. It's pre-sale. I laugh. So that's a factor I wanted to bring up so everybody's aware of these things, because to me, that is a fraud and betrayal, but it's something that you should know of when you're buying. So these are some of the factors you want to look at when you're shopping around. Other thing that I've noticed is sometimes when you go and you're looking for a certain product, I'm not understanding why, you go to the reviews and let's say it's a Kingston SD card, a gigabit. There's reviews on there for Kingston SD cards that are 5 gig, 10 gig, 2 gig, all in with your 1 gig review. I'm not understanding that, because I've seen where people are complaining about something, but it's not the product you're even looking at. It's a different size, it's a different something. So, wanted people to be aware of that, to really look at those reviews. Usually the review for that product should be that product, not 3 or 4 products kind of clumped together. So I've seen that a lot lately. I don't know why or how it's pulling those reviews or where they're stored, but I've seen that on a few different sites. So I wanted to bring that up. I know I've gone on really, really long, but I wanted to really go into some more detail for people who shop online. Because, like I said before, it could cause you a lot of headaches with returns and trying to get a hold of someone if your product don't show up and all this type of stuff. To save $3 to $5 to spend 10 hours of emails, calling, chatting, getting a hold of PayPal, getting a hold of your credit card company, doing this, doing that, all over a few dollars you thought you were going to save, where in the long run it might end up costing you more because the item you were looking at was on sale and you didn't get it was on sale, but now you need it and you have to get it and you're paying full price. So it could cost you $20 and all that extra time. So this is one of the factors I wanted to bring up. And I know it kind of gets annoying and a nuisance to do all of these things, but when you need something and you're running a small business and you're trying to build someone's computer, that 10 to 20 hours of work and labor and hassle can be expensive to you. Not to mention, now you didn't get that product or whatever you needed that was supposed to be there in a week. Now you got the new product that's going to take another week, so now you're talking about a 2-week product and a week delay because of it. At least. Or actually 2 weeks delay because you're waiting for that product. So this is one of the factors I wanted to bring up, especially home users. You want something, you want it right away. Dealing with something that coming from China that takes a month, and then it doesn't show up, and you go through all of this stuff, and then you have to order it from somewhere else, and then it takes another 2 weeks. You're looking at almost 2 months. Businesses too, 2 months. This is one of the factors that I wanted to bring up, that a lot of people go, oh yeah, not that big of a deal, it's not this, it's not. It can be a big deal. It can cause you a lot of headaches. And right now, it's really bad out there. So I'm just going to wrap this up because I've gone way too long. But I want to thank everybody again from Yates Computers Tips and Reviews. Hit the subscribe, hit the bell, you know, so I can do more content. Let me know you like it. Watch the videos, refer your friends. Tell people come on over and check out these videos. I know there's not a whole lot of views going on. I know I covered a lot of security and a lot of other things that probably people don't care about. You should care about. There's some security tips in here too that you should care about. There's a lot of important factors that you should care about that I know a lot of people don't and they won't, but there's a reason why I did those videos. So please watch them. Please watch them again. Tell people about them, because when your data gets stolen, your backup drive gets stolen, a lot of these factors are an inconvenience to you. And guess what? You're back in this boat right now where you're shopping online or you're going somewhere to replace what got stolen. So making sure your product is safe and secure will help you prevent you from all of these problems that I just brought up. There's a whole chain of events like I've brought up in all these other videos. This is why I'm making all these videos, to make sure everybody's aware of it. Alrighty, I'm going to wrap it up for sure this time, because I hope I summed it up enough and explained enough that everybody understands. Thank you.